very good afternoon to everyone that is watching. My name is JSB and I will be your host for today's talk show. So today our topic is a very interesting topic. It's about tourism. I think tourism is very important, not just for Malaysia, but for any countries at all. So, because it supports our economy, it creates job opportunity and encourages cultural exchange, and it also helps protect the environment. So Wana, we all know that Malaysia is very rich in culture, right? From the street food to festivals. So in your opinion, what do you think in our everyday culture that attract tourists the most?
Right, I think in Malaysia, culture is part of everyday life and can be seen in our traditional clothing, languages, and daily customs. The way people eat to ride, celebrate festivals, and respect different religions reflect the country's multicultural identity.
Yeah, that I agree with that. That's good. Since Malaysia is known for living peacefully with different religion, Mugi, how do you think the harmony between different religions attracts the tourists?
One of Malaysia's biggest strengths is actually how people from different religions live peacefully together. You can really see this in our daily life. For example, in Bukit Rotan, Kuala Lumpur, there is a mosque right next to an Indian temple, a church, and even a Chinese temple. Tourists find this really interesting because it shows real harmony in everyday life. Even our tourism minister, Dato Sujong King Singh, has also mentioned that respecting each other's differences is what keeps our country stable.
That's a very precise explanation. So when programs like Visit Malaysia 2026 are created, who do you think should decide on what represents Malaysia? Like, is it the government, is it the people, or like the experts of tourism?
Well, I think if you ask me personally, I think the government plays a big role because they have the resources and they have experience to promote Malaysia on international level. Like they understand that foreign tourists what are they looking for, and they know like how to market the country globally. So their involvement is very important.
That is true, but at the same time, Malaysians are the one who living in this culture every single day. When issues like mosque exclusion happen, the strong public reaction showed that people want their voices to be heard. It's not just about marketing, it's also about identity.
Oh yeah, I also have a question for Izaki. How do you think music, dances, and human stories reflect the unity in Malaysia?
Malaysia has many traditional dance music such as culture perform often different culture on the same stage, which tourists really enjoy. Show that Malaysia help each other without thinking about a race or religion. Their story makes tourists feel like that Malaysia is warm and welcoming. Oh yeah, you can pick like Visit Malaysia and all the social media promotions. Things are getting more modern. Alright, how did Malaysia protect its culture while still adapting to these changes?
Well, if you ask me, in my opinion, Malaysia protect its culture by preserving traditions. We are showing them in modern ways. Cultural practices like traditional dances, festival, and food are still practiced by local community, but there are also promoted through social media and tourism events.
Malaysia is super diverse after all, with so many races, religions, and cultures. So like, do you think it's actually possible to represent everyone fairly in a campaign, like in a single campaign or like a video?
Honestly, it's very difficult. Malaysia has so many races, religions, and cultures, and fitting everything into one campaign or video is almost impossible. I agree, it's hard, but at the same time, when something very important is left out, like most people feel like it's excluded. When the culture is properly shown, which makes the experience feel genuine for everyone.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It gets tricky to get it right, but it shows why representation matters so much in campaigns like this.
Oh yeah, you know what? And there are also been a lot of controversy about this topic, which is the music nation 2020. People like questioning the urgency of the mascots, and then they were like asking why the media not showing us. Alright, so what do you think? Do you think like these controversies actually harms tourism, or does it bring more attention to Malaysia?
Well, actually, controversy does brings more attention to Malaysia because like suddenly people worldwide are talking about Malaysia, like the culture, the religion, and the identity of it. So like even though it started off as a problem, but like it gets more people to talk about Malaysia, and like they will get curious and learn more about us.
That's true, but so much negative attention can be risky. Tourists might start questioning whether Malaysia really understands its own identity, or whether KP are sensitive to the culture they're showing.
Some people feel that modern tourism could destroy and ruin traditional cultures instead of protecting it. So, Mugi, how do you feel about this?
I agree, at least to a certain point where culture is over commercialized, it can lose its original meaning. When that happens, it turns into entertainment instead of heritage.
Also, traditions are passed down probably. Younger generations become more interested because they see that culture is still matter and still has value. For example, local festivals and performance that still promote and track because they're supported by both community and tourism initiatives.
So it really comes down to balance. Like tourism can weaken our cultures in kind of carelessly, but when communities are involved together, it can also help preserve traditions. It really depends on how we choose to manage it.
I did some research, and if you look at the numbers, tourism clearly matters a lot to Malaysia. We had around 29 million visitors in 2023, and that jumped to 38 million in 2024. Even though the numbers dropped in 2025, culture and unity are still major reasons tourists keep coming back. Malaysia's diversity continues to be one of our strongest attractions.
Wow, today's discussion really reminds me of how special Malaysia really is. Like our unity in diversity is not just a phrase, it's in the food that we eat, it's in the music that we enjoy, and even in the small acts of kindness that we see every day.
Yeah, of course. Sharing our culture isn't always easy. Things like Visit Malaysia 2026 with your controversy show that representation matters. It's not just about showing Malaysia, it's about showing it right.
Tourism does a lot for our country, like not just the economy, but it also creates more activity, like activity days, and it also brings people together. So like, whether you are a tourist or like a local, appreciating our diversity is what makes Malaysia truly shine. So thanks for our panelists together and for all of our joiners.